Hello everyone, welcome back to this lecture. I hope you are well. In previous lecture, I discussed about the all about for loop, how to define the for loop, when should I use the for loop, as well as continue, break, and else statement. In this lecture, I will discuss about what is the key difference between the for loop and while loop, when should be used, as well as also learn the some Python function that are incorporated with the for loop, such as enumerate and zip function. At the end of lecture, I will solve the one problem, that is checking the number is prime number or not. So let's start this lecture. As I discussed in previous lecture, there are two loops in Python. First is for loop and while loop. And loop is required because we have to do the repetitive task. Taking the same example, if you want to print out the 1000 times print statement with hello world, so you need to write a 1000 times. It will take out the 1000 lines. You can do the same thing with loop within few lines of code. That's why this arises the necessity of loop in Python. So understand the what is the key difference of when should we use the for loop and while loop. So for loop, it should be used when we know the number of iteration we have to go. Suppose I have to print out the even number up to 100, so I know, so I will use the number of iteration we have to go 100. I know beforehand. Then we use the range function and write a 0 and writing a step 2, writing here 2 and here 2, 2 also, so we can get a up to 100. So we know the beforehand number of iteration we have to go. But in case of for loop, we don't know the number of iteration. But it depends on the condition. Until condition is true, loop will not be break. So for loop is iterate over the sequence. For example, if you want to iterate over the items of a list, tuple, dictionary, list, tuple, dictionary, set, and string as well. Okay. While loop repeat the execution as long as condition remain true. If condition become a false, so for while loop will stop. Here, for loop will only stop when sequence end. Last item is sequence end. Okay. So move to the other point. In case of for loop, there is a less chance of infinite loop because there is no need to mention the indexing. In case of for loop, we mention the I should be start from 1, as well as we need to increase the that number by 1, yeah, whatever we want. But in case of for loop, there is no need of this thing, so that's why there is higher chance for infinite loop. I will show you this in when we write a code in Python. So first is we should if I say key difference, you should use the for loop when you know the number of iteration, and if you don't know the number of iteration, you should use the while loop, and that will be run through the condition. Okay, if you have a sequence, you should use the no for loop. So move to the next part. There is a very important function in Python. It should be used when we are interested in a indexing of a item of any iterable object. Suppose I have a name list that having a three items having a name John, Alice, and Charlie. If we want a index of that name, so we should use the enumerate function. We can do also without enumerate function, but best practice is that we should use the enumerate. That is more optimized operation and function. So here it gives two values in returns: name, that is the no items that are contained in the name list, and having a index at what position name are located. So here is we get index. So what should be the output for that loop? So we get a first 0 index. Index start with 0 in Python, and getting a John. Similarly, we get a 1 Alice, and similarly we get a 2 and Charlie. Whenever we need a index number of a particular item in a iterable object, so we should use a enumerate function. This function I will implement in VS Code when I write a code. So move to the second most important function, that is zip. Zip is a to iterate over the multiple list. If you have a multiple list like name and having a their corresponding ages, you want to iterate over the object, over the list. So how to move it? So we use the zip function having a name, age, having any number of iterable object. It gives you a name and age, and corresponding we can print out the age and name. It means if you see, it will form the tuple. It means it will form a tuple, like I will show you. It will show you Alice and 25, like that. Then comma, I will write Bob and 30. It will form a tuple. Then one tuple will be go when iterate over the iterable object, like Alice here, Alice here, then 25. This object will go for first iteration. This will go for second iteration. So I discuss about the enumerate and zip function. I will show you in code also. And I will also solve the one problem. Before solving this problem by me, first you should try the problem and see the answer. So problem is that you have to check out the number is prime or not. Check number is prime or not. So you have to write a Python code to determine given number is prime or not. So first I explain what is prime number. Prime number are those numbers that are divisible by only its number and 1. If I say in simple words, number that are not divisible by any number except its number and 1. For example, if I talk about 7, 7 is divisible by only 1 as well as 7, not by any other number. If I talk about 12, 12 is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. So these are multiples of 12 that can be divisible by the this number. But prime number are those numbers that are not divisible by any number except its number and 1. So I will write a code. Before writing by me, first write your code and run that. And if you don't understand, so I will explain when I write a code in this lecture. So move to the VS Code so that I will apply the concept that I discussed here. So move to the VS Code part. So here first I will make a file here like summary.py. First I will write the code printing a number 4 I in range 5. If you want to print out the number from 0 to 4, so you write this code print I. Okay, so you will get the 0 to 4. Okay, this can be written in the format of also like 0 while I less than 5 print I. Okay, I 1. Okay, if I run this, you will see the same answer. Okay, but I will highly recommend use the for loop, because for loop is used when we know the number of iteration we iterate for the sequence. But in case of while loop, it will only run when condition become a true. Okay, so I will show you one more example of while loop. First I comment out. Suppose you want to check the user enter a password correct or not. So you will write password here empty and while loop password is not equal to, I am writing here first I okay, I write here I am checking a the password is correct or not. I will write here first I so I will write here password. I am checking a user enter a password. I am checking password is correct or not until a user enter a number. Not equal to, suppose password is secret. Okay, so user enter a password. Here I will write input, let enter the password. Okay, user will enter the password in string format. Input will give you a string. Okay, then I will print out when things will work. Access granted. Okay, this password is correctly find out. So I will write here. So user enters, suppose I write a ABC password. So users they again ask, because when we write a ABC, it means ABC go here. ABC is not equal to secret. It means true. Then again asking, write a correct password. Yeah, I will write here. Will write here print enter the correct password. Okay, so again I run the code first. So first check the password is correct or not. If it is secret, so it will go in. So I will enter ABC. So enter correct password. If I write a secret password, so what will happen? First, see, I write a secret, it will go secret is not equal to secret, false. So it means it will loop will and then will show access granted. Okay, you will see the answer. That is the first application of how to use the leverage the while loop when we have a condition. So it will run infinitely until we get a true condition. Okay, whenever we get a false condition, it will end the loop. Okay, and see the enumerate function, how to use it. So taking the same example, I am writing a names. So I write here allies, and I will write here Bob, and I will write here Charlie. Okay, Charlie I will write here. So I need to indexing, index and name in enumerate. I will write here names, or I will write here corresponding index at what object are present, item are present. So you will see the index number start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. You can also mention a index will start from 1 to 3, but highly recommended to use the without mentioning the 1 to 3. You should use the default value which is start from 0. Okay, if I show the application of the enumerate function, so I will show you zip function that help us to iterate over the multiple iterable object we have. So I will write a ages also I have. So I will write here ages 25, 30, 32, 12. Okay, so I will write here for name and age in zip function. I will write here names and ages. So what will I do? So here I will write here name and age. So you will see it will form a tuple of a Alice of 25, Bob and 30, and Charlie and 32. So it should be please suppose if I write if having a different length, it means having a number of items in different list or vary. It will not give you it will raise a error. You will see here. Yeah, it means it will not consider that 25, 30 and 32. It will this value will not be considered because it is an empty part. So highly recommend that don't try to keep the same length. Okay, so you will get a Li 25, Bob 30 and Charlie 32. So you will get a same number of item in a list, in multiple list. So it will map through forming a tuple. First form a tuple Li 25, Bob 30 and Charlie 32. Then do it. You can also use a list comprehension when you are working with for loop. I will show you if I have a list. If I have a square, I will write here for loop and x in range 5. So what is the value we get? We get a range 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but I want a square of that number, so I will use the exponential operator and do it. So we will get a 0 square, 1 square and 2 square, 3 square, 4 square squares. So you will get a 0 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square and 4 square. So I think you have solved the problem of time number is number is prime or not. If you have not solved, please pause the video and solve it, then see the answer. You will get better understanding how to solve the problem. So first I will make a function. Don't worry if you don't know what is function, just see it. We use def keyword and write is prime. I will write here num. User will enter the number. If num is less than 2, that means prime number start with 2. If number is less than 2, it means that is not a prime number. So we write a false. We get a output is true and false, boolean value. Is prime number is prime or not. Then I will run a for loop to check from each number it is prime or not. Writing here start from 2, not 1, because 1 will divide every number. I think you remember the definition of prime number. Prime number are those prime number which are not divisible by any number except 1 and its number. So I will write int and I will write here star 0.5 and adding a +1. We can also do from we can run the loop from 2 to num, but this is an efficient way of writing to find out the prime number, because if you find a half of the number, it means it will also divisible by that number. That's why we are taking only half of sequence. We are not running from 2 to num, we are taking running from 2 to num of half. So if I will check number using a model operator, that will give you a reminder. If I get a true condition true, so it means it is not a prime number. So I will write a false. If condition remains, if any number is not divisible by the number we have mentioned 2, 3, 4, so it means that is a prime number. So I will write here true. Okay, so that is the function we have made for a number is prime or not. Okay, so what will I do? First I will check for a range of number is prime or not. So I will write a num in range 10. I am taking a 2 to 20. Okay, I will write is prime. So here we will get a boolean value. If condition true, it means we will write a number, or I will write a print statement. Here I will use the fstring method. Curly braces num is a prime number. Okay, so I will run it. You will only get a prime number through this way. How? It will give you number 2, 3, 4, 5, then it check it. This will go this function and it will alternate true and false. If number is prime, it will get true, it will print out the number. If it is false, this will not be, so on. Okay, so we'll get 2, 3, 2 is prime number, 3 prime number, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So that is the solution of a to find out the number is prime or not. I hope you find this lecture knowledgeable. Still, if you have any query, please leave this in comment section. I will happy to solve this query, and thank you so much everyone. See you in next lecture.